Gamers, hello, it's me, HEXLOOM. How you doing? I just popped my hip during that little speech. That's incredible. I rolled out of bed this morning, and after being up for about 48 hours, and I remembered that I didn't record an intro for this week's episode of The Gamer Hole, and I'm sorry, I forgot. Let's not worry about this copy machine that's just casually sitting on the ground over there. My life is spiraling downwards, apparently. I want to stand. Anyways, I hope you guys had a good week, and welcome to this week's episode of The Gamer Hole.
Good morning. Welcome to The Gamer Hole.
Hello.
Aqua's sleepy now for some reason. He was
Aqua's
all
the
good to
welcome.
go 5 minutes ago, but
I was
the sleepy
mid-yawn.
one.
I just was mid-yawn when you started it. I'm fine.
Yeah, okay, sleepy.
yeah.
Okay.
We've been up for hours
Yeah, me
playing
and Dekie.
New World.
Yeah. me and dude, we were playing it until the second before we had to record this.
Yeah.
I logged into Twitch early this morning. Saw Dekie literally like laying in bed because he's doing his subathon still. By the way, everyone, he's still fucking live. Like we said,
I'm
on
not
the
gonna be
last
live
episode.
when this one goes live. I'll be an off-cam boy by that time, I think. Unless
Someone just barely said they have $225 to play with. How much time will that buy me? So he might
That's at
still be
least a
streaming.
I okay, maybe there's a small chance. I wouldn't count on it.
Yeah.
Either way, thank you guys for supporting the
Yes.
COVID-a-thon.
For those that did not watch the last episode, he has COVID. He got a little sick, and then he's spending 2 weeks essentially live.
In
Based on
quarantine.
how many
The
people.
quarantine, yeah. I mean,
During the quarantine, he's going to stream most of it. So if you want to see him sleep, check in during sleeping hours.
I popped on his stream this morning. He was laying in bed looking at his phone. And I was like, hey, you want to do some fishing in New World?
And you watched him ignore your text.
No, he perked right up. He was like, yes, let's do
New
it.
World,
I
I'm
like
in.
watched him like get out of bed. Or actually, no, I think I asked you after that, but whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Either way, we were doing some fishing in New World. That game is red hot. We're both hooked. It crept into my little goblin brain, and now it's like all I want to play. And it's just the beta. That's the fucked up thing.
We have
It's
a
Right,
coming
that's
out
what I
for
said.
real.
You guys gotta.
You get to keep
gotta,
anything from
gotta
the beta?
pace.
Nope.
No.
You gotta pace yourself because when the release
knowledge.
comes, you're not gonna want to be. You're gonna want that little goblin brain to still want to
the
play.
best part about the game is that finally retribution for those snobby 3090 owners. Apparently, yesterday the game was bricking 3090s.
Okay, as a 3090 owner, I'm glad I didn't get EVGA because that's the only one because they didn't have limiters
The
on their power
EVGA
pole.
3090s were
They didn't have,
overheating and bricking from the
Yeah,
game.
I guess it was mostly just on the EVGA GPU side where they didn't have limiters that stopped their power pull, and somehow the game pulled too much power and bricked them.
The game's so good. It maxed out the power of a cutting-edge, state-of-the-art 3090 and made it kill itself.
I saw
Bricked it.
somebody tweet something like, does anybody know why my 3090 is getting so hot when I just boot up New World? And I was like, this guy must be like an idiot or something. I don't know. He must have like fucked up building his computer.
Nope.
Or he doesn't have like his fans set to like the proper airflow in his PC or something. There's no way this like just this random Amazon MMO is like destroying his 3090. That's pretty funny.
They didn't put FPS limits on the game. They didn't put a lot of like limits on the game when it comes to like different stuff like that. So 3090s
The menus.
It's
Yeah.
like,
They were
mini
burning
systems
themselves
were, like,
out.
doing over 9,000 or something.
Really?
Yeah.
yeah. So the 3090s were able to pull that, and
They,
there was no stopping on the 3090 EVGA editions. It was like, oh, we just keep going till we fry. And then
Yeah, I think they
did.
already This is like
Yes.
the next day. I think they already put out a patch that limits the menu frame rate
Right. It's
as like a temporary fix. But
it's not really New World's fault, but New World was like, it's like we're doing everything we're supposed to, but we'll put limiters on there for you guys anyways.
yeah. Well, they don't want like the bad publicity of like
Exactly.
this game
Yeah.
is
Being the
bricking
game that
GPU.
breaks the highest powered
Yeah.
card in the.
Now the underdogs with the less impressive cards are like, ha! Who's laughing now?
Exactly.
I
Everybody's
shouldn't
like,
say-
Dekie, you gotta worry. I'm like, guys, I'm just a 3070 guy. It's no big deal.
yeah. I'm like, I'm just a lowly 3080 owner.
I'm,
You know,
I'm
a-
just like you. All
Yeah.
right.
the common man. I'm just but a 3080 user.
But I think one of the things is those 3090s, those EVGA, their real selling point when they did it was we took off a bunch of the limiters. We made it so you can draw even more power with this split power pull bullshit. And now it's like, I wish you would have put limiters on my system. What are you doing?
I mean, if it wasn't New World, it would have been another game.
It would have been another game later on, right?
Yeah. So New World took the plunge, and everybody on my stream while playing it yesterday, and Dekie's too, I would imagine, and everybody else was like, just screaming
Freaking
about
about
that
it, yeah.
the whole day. Like I had to like say the same thing so many times.
Yeah, but those people that were complaining about it don't have 3090s.
No, I know. People
Like-
thought it was just all GPUs.
Yeah.
So like people,
I have a 3090 and I was a little bit worried, but then I looked into it and it's just that one brand because they don't have like they do like extra power pull.
yeah.
Standard 3090 doesn't do the extra. I mean, it does have more power pull, but it's not,
Yeah.
infinite type of deal. It's
I
not-
was being extra cautious yesterday. I checked my usage, which was like 97% or something. But that's like normal, right? Like that's a good thing, right? And then my temperature was like 65, so it was fine.
I did have a
What's
couple
he-
of crashes, and I was a little bit scared. But
What's
It's been
GPU
doing fine.
usage supposed to be when you're running a game?
It's not the usage
Depends.
that's the problem. It's the just
Temperature?
overheating. Yeah.
Well,
I don't
was
know
nice
a
and
ton about
cool as a
hardware.
cucumber.
ZChum would know a lot more about hardware than I would. But I think that mostly the problem is over like just not being able to cool it.
There's a cat.
There's a cat.
yeah,
Oh, we didn't
Oh,
say that yet.
yeah.
ZChum's
Let's talk about
ZChum's in a
ZChum's
new
setup. He
location.
moved. He bought a new
Yeah.
house.
Bought a new house. It's very nice.
Everybody,
he has
everybody
40
in my,
years of furniture and collectibles and tchotchkes in there, as you can see. A fully stocked
everybody in
bookshelf.
my fucking chat was like, "Why did you move? Why did you move? When did you move?" And I had to like probably 100. I had to make a command for it that was like, "I'm just dog sitting at my parents," and then everybody gave me shit for like, "Why didn't you just bring the dogs to your house?" Like,
I think it's
man,
fantastic.
Mhm.
Is that a fireplace on the wall behind you there?
Yeah,
What is that?
it's like a
TV?
mounted fake fireplace.
Oh.
That's
like-
interesting because it's not in the wall, so you
Yeah.
can definitely see that it's mounted.
It's
Okay.
just like some cheap electric heater that they use in here in the winter.
Okay, well, as long as it heats, it's fine.
Yeah.
If
They
it, if it
have,
was
like-
just a screen, I would say just put a screen and
No,
place some
they've
fire.
got like a 60-inch TV mounted on the wall right in front of me that I can't imagine anyone ever needing.
Oh, you can
takes
watch
up-
TV while you stream and stuff.
Takes up like the whole. I can watch other streams while I stream.
Yeah.
I didn't want to like. I had to move my whole setup, and moving your setup is a pain in the ass,
You
especially
even
when
brought
you
your
stream.
like arm and shit. I'm impressed.
When you stream, it's such a pain in the ass. I had to bring my Go XLR and my microphone and my Stream Deck and my keyboard, mouse, monitor, computer, all the wires. And I was like, I'll just use their like computer monitor as my second monitor. So I just unplugged my computer, or unplugged their computer, plugged mine in, used their second monitor, or used their monitor as my second monitor.
Mhm.
Because I'm not
I
gonna
had
lug
a-
two monitors. Ugh.
I had a parents' house makeshift setup for a while there.
Yeah.
It was there was something endearing about it. You know, it's just like janky and not very
Yeah,
nice.
it's
It's
But like,
janky and nice until it's your job, and then
Yeah.
it's not
At
quite as
first, I
fun.
started like trying to tuck the wires back behind the correct way, and I was like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck am I doing?"
nah,
Yeah.
let him go.
Just
let him
go.
fly.
You're only there for a short time. Fuck it.
Yeah, so I'm here for like 3 weeks, I think.
Oh.
Keep just watching these dogs.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, I'm not gonna. If I bring the dogs to our house, we don't have like an area where they can like get in and out of the backyard. They're gonna get all fucking muddy, and
Yeah.
they're gonna come in from the backyard right into our living room rug, and it's just gonna destroy our living room. And I
And
was
then
like,
you're gonna spend 2 hours a day cleaning the living room rug.
I was like,
yeah.
I'd rather just move over there and bring my fucking cat. So he just hangs out in
Yeah.
the background now. It's pretty cool. The first day, he like tormented the dogs and constantly just would go hiss at them for no reason and freak
Cats are
them the
such
fuck out.
assholes to dogs for no
Cats are
reason.
assholes.
It was like he had no reason to be. The dogs have like their own part of the house, like their whole entire section of the home, and he has no reason to go over there.
Yes, the dog wing.
Yeah, the dog area. But he's good now. He's
Yeah,
just chilling.
dogs are so like friendly typically. Like they just walk up to the cat like, "Hey, I just want to get to know you." And the cat just like claws their eyes out. Just like, "Hey, I just want to like check out what the fuck you are." Like I know about people, I know about dogs. What are you?
Yeah, at
And,
first it drove him fucking insane. It
Yeah.
sounded it was like somebody breaking in the house, the way they just like would freak the
Yeah.
fuck out when they were like animal.
Yeah.
But now it's good. Now we can make
Claws
it
their
through.
face.
My parents being like, old, they wake up at 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m.
Mhm.
Because they're old and retired, and old people just start waking up at 5 a.m. every day
Yeah.
for some reason.
Not my family. My parents
Well-
are like 16-year-olds. They sleep till like noon when they
Oh,
don't have to
maybe-
get up for work or something. Yeah, they're so fucking weird.
Maybe when they get in their 70s, that'll change.
Maybe.
But my
I doubt it
parents
though.
are up at 5 a.m.
You
And
got old parents too, ZChum? I didn't know that.
yep,
I got old parents too.
I got super old parents.
old
yeah.
parents.
Mine are pretty old. They're like 65 or something. 60
So-
something.
Waking up at 5, they feed the dogs at 5.
Yep.
So the dogs-
they're on a schedule.
The dogs are now accustomed to being fed at 5 a.m. So at 5 a.m., they start freaking the fuck out. They're like, "Where's my food? I'm going to starve and die." And they don't shut up. And I'll like, I'll open my eyes and be like, "Oh, another day of this bullshit." Then you gotta go feed the dogs. It's really fucking annoying.
So you feed the dogs at 5 a.m. and then go back to bed?
If by feed the dogs at 5 a.m. you mean make Katie feed the dogs at 5 a.m., then yeah, I feed the dog. I feed the dogs.
I wake up enough to wake up Katie to make her
Yeah,
do
and
it.
then Katie feeds the dogs, and then she gets ready for work in 2 hours. But she's like, if I gotta get up, I gotta get up.
Oh,
I'm
Yeah,
like,
my-
yeah, thanks.
My wife gets up at like 6:30 a.m. and does all the morning stuff too. I'm not so good at it. But I get up a little bit later.
Mhm.
I
But
haven't done a fuck all in this house, man. I set up my setup, and I was like, well, that's enough work for me.
Time for bed.
what
yeah.
you described to me, like she's out mowing the lawn, like painting
She
shit,
is.
like, and you're just sitting there like a gamer. She goes to work all day, makes dinner every night for you.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah. And you know what I do? I play Tarkov for 4 hours, and then I'm like,
Man,
I'm so
I'm wiped.
tired.
That was a hard day's work, boys.
Man, that was a tough day. I'm gonna not show up to the gamer hole tomorrow too.
Poor
Yeah,
ZChum,
I know.
dude.
Sorry, ZChum. I can't talk. I'm pretty bad too. Like my wife will be like, "It's trash day tomorrow," and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'll take care of it." and I'll be like, okay, I'm just gonna like do a couple things on the computer, and like while I'm like doing those couple things, she'll just like do everything, and I'll be like, why'd you do that? I was gonna do it, and she's like, I don't know, you weren't doing it, so I just did it.
They just do things
stuff.
immediately. I had this
Productive
conversation.
members of society, you know.
I had this conversation with Katie where she was like, "Why, when you see like the dishes being dirty, don't you immediately just do the dishes?" And I'm like,
No.
Because
it's not full.
I'm like, yeah, because I plan on doing the dishes in 3 hours. I plan on doing it at 1 a.m. before I go to bed. That's when I'm gonna do the dishes.
And keep her up, yeah.
Yeah, and
She's
I'll
gonna
be
be
like,
like
hey.
sleeping, and then hear dishes going. She's gonna wake up. Yeah,
I'm like, hey,
good
I'm gonna do the dishes tonight. She's like, okay, and then I go in there and the dishes are done. I was like, I was gonna do the dishes, and she was like, but you didn't, so I did it. I was like, I was gonna do it. I'm coming in right now to do it.
Yeah.
And just and she's like, how can you just like leave them for that long? Like, I don't know. They're not going anywhere.
That
Dishes aren't gonna do
That's
themselves.
a major point of conflict.
Do you have a dishwasher?
Yeah. I mean, just like loading the dishwasher.
Yeah. Here's the trick. Just put them in there when you're done, unless there's clean ones in there.
You rinse them.
In which case, if they're clean, then you put it off, and then
But
you
it's
know,
so
your significant
easy to
other will
just-
probably get to it before you.
Just throw them in the sink.
sink.
Yeah, but if you put it in the sink, you just rinse them off anyway, so they're pretty clean.
I
in the
don't rinse
sink.
shit off.
Ah,
I just,
see, there's the issue.
I just throw a stack of destroyed plates in the sink.
ZChum actually just smashes them on the floor and makes Katie
Buys
clean them
new
up.
plates every day because he has to smash the old
When
one.
when I finish, I just destroy them.
Just completely destroy the dish and any evidence of
Yeah, he
feed
has like
the scraps to the dogs.
It's like a paper shredder, but for plates, and it just like goes right through it. Yeah.
It's funny because my parents are like, for some reason they have like a fucking ton of paper plates. They have like really nice plates and silverware and shit.
Bad for the environment, but
I
great
know.
for
It's the
convenience.
old mentality. It's like when people came over, like when I was a little kid. Like when when kids come over, like you have a little party, it was always paper plates for some reason.
Yeah,
like,
because
it was
they
like
break the plates.
I guess it was just for kids, yeah. But like when it was like adults come over, it's like, oh, we take out the real plates. But like kids, it's like, here you go, here's a paper plate.
It's
And then-
because you don't have to. It's because you don't have to clean. You don't have to. You don't have to wash dishes.
Throw
You
out the
just
whole
forget.
plate.
Yeah.
throw
It's
the
amazing.
whole plate out. It's fucking horrible for the environment. It's
the worst
like
thing ever.
Listen, if this household could get on board with the paper plate, I would not put up a fight about it. I'd get on board. Just kidding. Comment section. We have dishes. Okay, calm down.
Yeah.
But the paper plate that's a solid gamer move. I'll just
Damn.
say that.
all the environmentalists in the chat are gonna really hate when I tell them that I've been heating my parents' pool using the gas heater to 85 degrees.
You have a hot tub in there? Like,
Yeah, pretty much. I'm
Fucking that
pretty
is-
sure
that is warm.
I'm pretty sure there was steam coming off of the pool last night. Honestly, I can't wait to get out there. It's like you can't tell where the water starts and the air ends.
Yeah.
It's really pleasant.
Here's the real question, since what do you guys have as far as actual platery? Do you guys have a lot of plates? How many plates do you have in your house? Do you have different size plates?
Mhm.
Because I got about 4 plates in my entire house.
I
between my
kind of want
girlfriend
to.
and I.
I want to switch to that lifestyle, like 4
Minimalism.
plates-ish. Yeah,
You're a
I wanna switch to
minimalist.
Well,
I-
we don't really have room for one, but then
I-
like,
I have like 20 coffee mugs.
oh
But
gosh,
I always try to use the same coffee mug for this
Yeah,
podcast, which is the General Sam.
big iron.
Mm-hmm.
Because like when I lived alone, I legit had like 2 forks, 2 spoons, 2 knives, 2 plates, 2 cups.
I kind of like that.
And then I've kind of doubled it now. But it's I mean, at least the dishes don't get too out of control.
Each of you brought two things to the table.
When I went off to college, my dad told me, he was like, when I was a bachelor, I had one spoon, one fork, one knife, one plate, one bowl, and one cup. And that's all you need. When you're done, you wash it,
And you
and
put it
that's
there,
it.
ready to go. Yep.
And so I went off to college.
Okay,
but
Dad.
I was like, okay, Dad. And I went off to college with like a couple plates, a couple bowls. But I had this really fucking interesting roommate who showed up like 2 weeks late. Dude moved in 2 weeks late, and he moved in with one spoon and one bowl, and that was it. That was
That's
all
amazing.
he brought, and he never bought anything else. And he was a big guy, and this bowl was like very tiny, like kind of an absurdly,
just look like the Hulk eating out of it. Like...
Yeah, like an absurdly small bowl for the girth of this man. I was like, what the fuck is this? And when he would eat cereal, he would eat like 3 bowls of it because he would like fill it up and eat, and then fill it up
that's the
again and
way.
fill it up again. He came home one night and threw up in my shoes and didn't clean it, and then went to bed. And I woke up the next morning, and my shoes were in the trash. And I was like, did you throw my shoes away? He was like, I threw up in them. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He was gone. He showed up 2 weeks late for classes and was gone within another 2 weeks. He just spent like all his time partying, throwing up
eating
in my
out of
shoes.
a tiny bowl.
And he left the bowl, and we kept it, and we still have this tiny ass bowl. And every time I look at it, I'm like, I'll never forget you.
He got kicked out.
Guy, yeah. I don't know if he got kicked out. He just stopped going to class, and then he just moved out. So, fucking crazy ass guy. I don't know.
I had a roommate who got like kicked out. I think he just disappeared one day.
I surprisingly didn't form like any bonds with anyone in college.
It's a weird time.
I just played Rust.
Some of my greatest friends are from
I got
college.
kicked off campus once.
For
I got
what?
caught with a bunch of alcohol that wasn't even mine. I was just like in a room with it.
Do you get kicked out of campus for that? What?
Yeah, for like a weekend. If you get caught with too much shit like that, you get kicked off for like a weekend.
What if you live there?
What do you do then? Like, if you live there?
I don't know.
Like my school is like a little bit. I don't know. They don't.
You should have thought about that before breaking the law.
Like my school didn't care. Like, because if campus cops caught you with anything, it was like, pour it out. And you'd be okay.
Yeah, no, it was.
And then they'd be like, okay, keep going
forgot.
with your day.
I forgot exactly what happened. All
There's
I
more to
know.
the story. Aqua's not giving us at all.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. He was caught at like
I'm
the
just
gas
trying to-
station
that
buying
doesn't-
alcohol from minors or something.
Well, that doesn't make sense to be kicked off because you live there.
You live there. So
yeah, I
how's
don't know.
kicking off campus gonna work?
There was
Maybe it
this,
was like-
I mean, I think we got, if it was really bad, you'd have to go to like through a board thing, and they'd have to approve you to keep going to school or not based on like your interview and stuff. But like for most things, it was just like, okay, pour out your alcohol.
Yeah, it makes
you
no
know,
sense. I don't
whatever it
know.
was.
I don't remember.
There was this rumor going around when I was in high school that there was this gas station you could go to, and they wouldn't ID you if you tried to buy cigarettes or alcohol.
And then someone tried it, and they were like ID, and you were like, what?
And that someone was me. Everyone was like, dude, you can buy Black and Milds at this gas station. They don't ID you. And me being in high school, the gas station was right around the corner, and everyone was like, someone do it. And I was like, I'll do it. And I went in,
God.
and the dude called me a fucking idiot.
Yeah, because you are.
How old were you when you tried to do that? It's like
16.
18 to buy those,
Yeah,
right?
it's 18 to buy cigarettes. I was 16. I was like, could I get a Black and Mild?
Did
He
you
was
just call you
like-
an idiot, or did
He
you
was
say
like,
for your
ID,
first?
and I was like, oh, I've never had to show it before. And he was like, well, let me see it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't have it on me.
And then he just called you an
Fucking
idiot. and you
idiot,
walked
get
out.
out of
You're an
here.
idiot. Get out of here.
In the US, do they still like always check even if you're old?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They actually
Always.
have to by
I don't
rules
get.
for a
I
lot
don't
of
get
stuff.
checked.
I think
always.
in my state, it's if
Well,
you
it's
look
supposed
under.
to be like a law, but yeah,
I think
like,
it's 45 or something before they're supposed to be like, okay, like
Dude, my
okay.
my dad
I
gets
look
my dad
45.
gets ID'd.
I think that's how it was. Like that's how it was in
Oh.
Tennessee. They just are supposed to ID everybody. I just didn't know if this is actually still common practice.
right.
I went to a baseball game with my dad, who looks old as shit. You know, he looks like me, but really old. And we were at a baseball game, and he tried to like buy a beer for us, or maybe it was just him. Even he's like, and they asked for his ID. He was like, "Look at me! Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I
I'm
remember
like
when I was
3 times your age."
I was working
three
at
toddlers in a trench coat. I don't know.
I was working at a supermarket or grocery store or whatever, and the rule was you had to ID everyone. So like you were just like, okay, can I see your ID or whatever?
Yeah.
And so the
That's
women that were
weird.
like the women that were clearly 45, 50 would be like, oh, that's so sweet, and I'd be like, okay, yeah, I know. Can I
Ma'am,
actually
don't
see it
flatter
though?
yourself. I have to ask.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't say that, but I was like, oh yeah, I'll see it though. And
You
then they
should've-
just like flash it. I'd be like, okay, good enough. 'Cause-
ID, young lady. Miss,
yeah,
can I see some ID?
Is your
But you're
mother
like,
here, miss? Is this...
Yeah.
But I remember for a while it was a huge thing, and then I think they might be a little bit more relaxed. But they're like, you're supposed to show
I
everyone.
never
but
get
if you're over
carded
50,
for anything, ever.
but even those kids, like you're like an 18-year-old working at a supermarket. Do you like you're kind of like, yeah, I have to see it, but as long as they're old enough, and
I
their
don't.
ID
But I
looks
actually
good
don't know
enough.
how to read, ma'am. So I'm just gonna trust.
Well,
that.
it's not like I'm gonna pull out the ID and be like, "Is this? Let me call the cops
Let
real
me
quick
find
to
the
see if this
watermark,
number
yeah.
checks out."
When I was me being the only person in the AV club in high school, I had access to the school ID printer that would print
Mhm.
your school ID. Right. This was probably illegal. For the
Allegedly,
purposes
we'll just say
Allegedly.
for the
allegedly.
purposes of this story, this allegedly happened.
Yeah.
Someone allegedly who isn't me printed all of his friends' student IDs for them, but changed their date of birth to be like 3 years younger, so that all of their IDs said 18, so they could go buy weed smoking devices at the head shop.
Mm.
They'd be like, "Oh, I don't have my license. I have my school ID. Does that work?" And every place would be like, "That's fine."
Oh, it looks like Arcos's
Yes.
PSU has now exploded
From New World.
from New World. Just so everyone knows. So
Not
I'm
his
sure-
GPU, his PSU.
his PSU.
New World, it's a new trend, guys. Your
New
your
trend.
PSUs are gonna explode.
Honestly, with this subathon, maybe we could do a subathon, but a streamathon
Should
where
I?
until New World claims your computer, you just
until
stream
my
until New
computer
World
explodes.
All
breaks
right,
something.
I'm gonna stop playing that. And
I was like, oh shit.
yeah, I'm out. Yeah, that's enough.
There's
That
there's gonna be
and
like
the beta.
all
I'm
these
out.
claims against Amazon, like, "You fucking killed my dog. You fried my monitor."
I was talking to my girlfriend about this, and she goes, "You know what's pretty funny is when they need a new PC part, I bet you they're gonna buy it from Amazon."
Yeah.
So really,
It's all
Amazon's
part of their
making
plan.
This is all
I
planned
see.
obsolescence from Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos is like 3090 not good enough. Buy two 3090.
Yeah, I was hoping when he got off his spaceship, he would be like, "Play New World," like right there. It's all about New World.
That was
Everything.
fucking crazy, by the way. Jeff Bezos taking his little space trip. I
Well,
know
did you
I
see
mean,
that? So Jeff
technically
Bezos'
edge of
space,
but
right? But Jeff Bezos' space trip cost about $1 billion. The whole thing, a lot of it is not his money, but the whole thing cost $1 billion. Within 3 days after he landed, his net worth went up $1.69 billion. It cost him about 2 days to get back that $1 billion to go to space.
nice.
That is, that's. I hadn't heard that part. I woke up. Well, I was streaming it, but I woke up early live, like to make sure I watched it because, like, I like space stuff. And fuck Branson. Like, I was mad, dude. I mean, Bezos is Daddy Bezos. He pays the bills,
Yeah.
and despite being,
He doesn't pay the bills, but okay. Yeah.
He does. He's our boss, dude. He's seriously.
Besides all the children's blood he drinks to
Yeah,
stay
I'm not going to get into the whole evil side. Yes, I'm sure he does bathe in children's blood and some other really messed up shit.
Dude,
Rubs it on his bald head.
I seriously think Jeff Bezos probably regularly gets IVs of children's blood because
you're not a billionaire unless you consume other people in multiple ways.
It's proven that children's blood can heal your body and rejuvenate you and shit. I'm pretty confident he's got enough
just
money.
Keeps getting hotter.
That every week he just does a quick IV of some child's blood. Why wouldn't he? He's so rich. He's probably gonna live to 200.
I mean, honestly, he probably has a room in one of his many houses that is just farming children's blood.
Yeah, just a dedicated room for blood farming. And
he's building a whole matrix system. He
Have
has
you
them
guys
all in
seen-
little pods like in the Matrix.
I don't remember that
sucking
movie,
out all
but
their
the
blood.
vampire movie where there's vampires and humans just walking around they're all
Twilight.
No.
That's
It's an
what I
old
think of
movie. It's
vampire
an older
movies.
movie, but anyways, it's I don't know. But
30 Days of Night.
no, sorry. Ethan Hawke's in it, and
Yeah, 30 Days of Night. That's
No.
it.
no,
Oh wait, no, that was
yes.
Josh
Ethan
Hartnett.
Hawke is in it, and they're regular people.
What
They
a
don't
hunk.
care about humans versus vampires, but the vampires have to farm humans, and they allow
Sure.
them to. They
Yeah,
whatever.
whatever.
Anyways, but that's what I imagine his house is like. It's just humans on racks where
I
they're
like
just
to imagine it as a
sucking
medieval torture chamber where he uses leeches to pull the blood from the children.
And then he squeezes them out into another jar.
another leech, please. To, his butler.
Children's blood.
I don't think you can reach billionaire status without having consumed humans in some sort of way, whether it's their blood or their flesh.
He probably
It's
eats
just
placentas and stuff.
yeah,
you
it's
know?
part of the moving from big
Don't
boy
they
millionaire
initiate you
to
in?
billionaire.
Once you hit that $1 billion, they initiate you in with a.
It's part of the process.
Have you seen the youthful glow of his skin and how just tight? How old is this fucking guy?
I don't know.
It's 64 or something, I think.
I
Jeff
honestly thought he
Bezos
was-
is 57 years old. I'm pretty
Holy shit.
confident he's gonna make it to well into the 150s.
He looks younger than me.
Jeff Bezos looks like a 30-year-old. He
Yeah,
looks
I'm-
30.
I'm not gonna lie. Jeff Bezos is gonna live longer than I do. He will. Even though he is a lot older than me, he will live. He'll
He'll
be alive.
outlive
another
all
day.
of
I'm
us.
pretty
Yeah.
confident Jeff is gonna set up some sort of time relativity. I think that's
Why
his
do you
whole.
think he went up there?
I think that's his whole thing for space. Is he's not content with the money he has now with Amazon, and he's like, if I could only leave Earth and get into some sort of relative orbit on some giant planet where time moves multitudes faster based on size, and he'll spend I don't know, a couple hours there, and then he'll come back in his little penis rocket, and it'll have been 50 years on Earth, and he'll be like, finally, I have enough money to marry my
That's
child bride.
literally
or whatever.
the plot of Austin Powers you just described pretty much. It's a penis rocket, and he goes up in space, freezes himself, comes back, and marries his the child of his previous girlfriend.
Jeff Bezos is onto some sort of Austin Powers interstellar.
You literally just
hybrid.
described Austin Powers to a T. I don't know if you realized you did that.
That would have been the popular thing to watch when Jeff Bezos was truly forming his worldview. So.
Yeah. Also, and the $1 million, he's like that, but 100 billion.
Not
whatever.
enough.
Yeah.
It was really cool to actually watch the space launch. I mean, we're all used
Yeah,
to
it
watching
was.
the SpaceX ones, which are a million times bigger and better.
And the
But-
NASA ones, which are very government oriented and very
Watching that one, and I mean, I've watched a couple of Blue Origin flights before, but it feels so much more homegrown and backyard. Their tower is tiny. Everything's
Yeah.
and like the bridge like slowly like creaks back, and it's not all like fully enclosed and all like super professional and shit.
I've been to Blue Origin's Space Center in Florida.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I took that, you won't believe it, cruise down to Florida, somewhere near I don't know, Cape Canaveral or something. I can't remember. Fort Lauderdale, maybe. I can't remember where I was, but we were like, damn, the Blue Origin launch site's pretty close. Let's just go check it out. Not really it was just like an office. There wasn't really anything to like do, but it was cool, like seeing the launch pads and shit.
Yeah,
I would have preferred like a SpaceX launch site or something, but I was like, well,
definitely different scales.
Yeah, Blue Origin's like 10 minutes away. We'll just go to that, I guess.
Jeff Bezos' space launch was basically like a model rocket, but with like billions of dollars.
And they had some dope ass windows, though.
Yeah, it's like that. If a bunch of like 13-year-olds doing a model rocket.
Yeah, exactly.
$1 billion fucking
and they were
dollars.
like, hey,
I don't know.
let's make it look like a penis, and our teacher won't be able to tell us no because it's an aerodynamic design.
Yeah.
That was my balsa wood car in high school. Looked exactly like a dick, but I was like, no, you don't understand, teacher.
I made a model rocket once called the Fat Boy. It was like really fat. It was awesome, and it totally looked like a chode penis.
It just exploded when you.
No, it flew. It flew. It was awesome, dude. The Fat Boy. Just a big, thick penis floating through the air. It was awesome. Yeah, rockets were sick. I want to do that again now. But I can't afford a Bezos rocket, so I'll just have to do like a hobby store rocket.
The backyard ones.
Well, no, what we could do, Aqua, if you want, is we could do the same thing Bezos did and get $220 million from the U.S. government to do it, and then we could probably get like a half Bezos
all I
rocket.
have to do is like shave my head, drink
talk
some
to a couple
child blood.
senators, and
pretend to be
what
like.
about that flat Earth dude who like fucking killed himself making his own rocket so he could like?
Oh, like a year or two ago, yeah.
Aren't backyard rockets legal, but you can't get the fuel or something like that? That's what makes backyard rockets illegal?
That guy launched himself a million times, and then eventually it got him.
Like, the Earth is flat, watch this! And he just like...
Yeah, he kept wanting to go up to see, look for a curve, and...
He keeps launching himself in the air, and every time it's like... So what'd you see? And he's like, yeah, I'll tell you later.
Definitely a curve there.
Have you seen that video of there's this flat Earth dude who's like, they're investigating flat Earth, and he's like a true believer, and he's like, if I place this piece of plywood here with a little hole in it, and then I go 1 mile and place another piece of plywood with a hole in it, and I put a light behind it here, if I raise the light, it should be visible at the other hole because of the curvature of the Earth. But if I lower the light, it should be visible because it'll be perfectly flat. And he's like, and he's on like a walkie-talkie with this guy, and he's like, okay, lower the light. And he's like, is it lowered? I don't see it. And he's like, it's lowered. And he goes, raise the light. And he raises it, and he sees it. And they go, and it, like the camera pans at it, and like it's the light, and it pans back to him, and he's like, huh.
He essentially proved that the Earth is curved. It was so funny.
Damn, this Earth is so flat, it's round or something. Crazy.
I don't know how anyone could think that. It's just crazy to me.
Well, I could see how a long time ago when people started seeing evidence that it's round and people thought it was flat. Okay, fine. Like,
all right, so
Christopher
we're talking
Columbus,
like the 1300s here.
Right, 1300s, yeah. I could see that. Once you have an actual education system and prove that there's lots of stuff many
just
times.
Like the way the sun kind of like goes like this across the sky, like the sun is clearly round, the moon is clearly round. You can see those round objects like stars as well in the sky. There's a lot of round things in the sky. it would only make sense that this is also most likely round just based on that.
Also, the fact that if you go far enough east, you eventually wind up west. That could also be a pretty good indicator.
There's a lot of evidence pointing towards the roundness of the Earth.
So anything before the medieval times, I could see it, but after that, I think we should maybe.
We've got this crazy ass guy in our town who's like pretty famous locally because he's batshit insane. And
one of those people.
Every town needs a guy like that.
Yeah, he shows up to city hall and town council meetings and raves about how the Earth is flat, and about how
sir, that's not what we're talking about.
And about how like the LGBTQ community should all be like killed or something because he's fucking insane.
He's insane.
And there was like a pride parade in our town like a year or two ago, and he threatened to like fucking kill everybody there, and then finally our town was like, okay, you just got a little too fucking crazy.
Yeah,
that's a line.
And I haven't heard anything from him since then because I'm pretty sure he got fucking arrested.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Is like you can be batshit crazy. That's perfectly fine. You're allowed to think what you want. Have your own
it was
beliefs.
fine until he started
cross the line of like endangering other people or doing something weird.
I take back what I said. If it's a guy like that, you don't need a guy like that.
It was perfectly fine to be batshit insane.
Yeah.
Believe in flat Earth all you want.
That's fine. That's harmless.
Yeah,
I mean, you're silly,
hurt
but
me. I'm not hurt by that. But if you build a bomb, I'm probably hurt. Don't. Don't build
or like
bombs.
if you want to talk about what you believe, that's fine. If you want to spread misinformation, then gets a little bit gray area.
Fuck
if you
it's America. Even that's fine.
Even that's gets allowed now too. But
that's what makes this country so great. If you want to peddle some shit about the Earth being flat, go for it.
You want to sell some snake oil? Go ahead until it starts injuring people. Then you're arrested.
Just don't hurt other people. That's all you got to do.
I got COVID after having the vaccine. So like,
conspiracy theorists coming in.
Yeah, but imagine if you didn't have it.
That's my point. Like
I'm pretty sure
you
might
have been really sick.
Up without the vaccine.
No, exactly. But that's like I've had a lot of people come and chat. They're like, "But you had the vaccine. Like, how did you get COVID?" I'm like, "Vaccines like makes it not majorly severe.
It reduced the severity of my. I didn't need a ventilator because I got the vaccine."
Exactly. Yeah.
I feel like in the past I've noticed you get like bad like chest colds and stuff. You're just like susceptible
that was
to that,
like
right?
That's why I made a point to go back to the US and get it. Is because if I get sick, I usually can get pretty sick. And so like during the whole COVID thing, I'd been pretty cautious about stuff. And that's like when I was like readily could get it in the US and like get the one-shot one so I didn't have to stay there for like 2 weeks.
What is pretty sick to you, Dekie? Because I feel like pretty sick to me is like a cough.
No, I remember when Dekie he had like a chest infection or something a long time ago, and I thought he was gonna like be in the hospital. I
get laid up if I fully go sick. A lot of times I'll like teeter on sickness and then can put it off.
And then
if I go over that
10-day
limit,
long,
there.
And then you'll do a 10-day long stream and
something like that while having COVID. No big deal.
I was pretty adamant about that. I was all like, it may still be a thing, but I definitely do want to have that security blanket. And hey, I'm glad.
Yeah, some people are really susceptible to like, respiratory illness, Dekie being one of them. So like if you got COVID before that vaccine, that might have been like pretty fucked because you got a little bit of a nasty cough, as you can hear, but
still, that's like the only thing that's actually wrong. I feel greater than that, but I still got the
hey, good thing you got that. Good thing you got that the Fauci ouchie, you know what I'm saying?
Fauci ouchie.
Yeah. But you'll be right as rain soon. Yeah. That cough will go away. You'll be all right.
Well, I'm thinking this COVID-a-thon's been great. Like
it has. Yeah.
It's some good stuff. And
do you want it to be over? Like any part of you want it to be over?
Honestly, I've been supporting Like I've been trying to, maybe help Dekie get a little bit extra hours here and there, And now I'm kind of wondering if I should stop that because Tanya looks like she's about to kill Dekie.
I know. She was sitting at the computer while he was like taking the dogs out earlier or something, and she was just like sitting there like,
She's like,
Yeah.
looking so defeated.
She keeps going, thank you for the subs, but please stop. Like,
Yeah.
like, why are you doing this?
I know. I felt bad raiding you yesterday, Dekie. I almost didn't do it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna raid Dekie, but don't sub. His girlfriend's gonna fucking hate me. Follow, but don't sub.
Yeah.
I feel like Decky, I
she-
feel like you should have Tanya read out alerts.
she has some very mixed feelings on it. Yeah. She
Can we
has some very
ask
mixed
her
feelings.
her feelings on it? Can she tell us herself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about the COVID-a-thon?
I'm losing my mind.
There.
You heard it here first.
She's losing her mind.
She like I talked about, I think, on last week's, is like I did agree that we would try and split the proceeds because she is like
Yeah,
forced
she's
to be
helping.
half of the show.
Yeah.
And the entire thing is like our slow descent into madness of being in a tiny studio apartment and not having any escape from each other nor the stream. So it's like us and then a bunch of other internet strangers living with us at the same time.
Very exciting.
I had a breakdown myself the other day. Like I lost it. I was just pissed. And because like I've been playing Tarkov and grinded Tarkov. Tarkov's a cruel mistress. And then I had made the mistake to play a different game. I played DayZ one day. And I shouldn't have mixed it up. I shouldn't have taken my head out of the Tarkov world because it made Tarkov just so much worse going back into it.
Yep.
And then
That'll
we're playing
happen.
New World.
Yeah.
Yep.
And just like after I played DayZ and I went back to Tarkov, I just like sat there and I was like, I don't want to be on fucking cam. I don't want to play this fucking game. I don't want to do anything. And I was just pissed for like 5 hours. I was like livid. It wasn't even like a joke. I was genuinely just like in a bad spot. Luckily we got out of it and I've been pretty good since then. But there was like, it was like COVID fatigue, camera fatigue, Tarkov fatigue. It just all hit me at the same time and I was hot. But now, like, I mean, I'm feeling
when
great.
was this? Sorry,
It was like probably like the third day.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
I did the same thing, Decky. I played Tarkov for 9 days, not straight, but every stream for 9 days straight. I played Tarkov. And on the last day, I played Tarkov, and I played 2 hours of it, and I was like, I got this PS5 the King sent me. I got The Last of Us. I think it's finally time I play The Last of Us, and I stream me playing it. So I swapped from Tarkov, and I played The Last of Us for like 4 hours. And I fucking loved it. It was so fun. I'm like super interested in what's going to happen next. And then the next day I was like, I cannot fucking play Tarkov today.
Exactly.
I can't go back to it, man.
You got to keep like Tarkov blinders on in order to like keep going.
Yeah.
Well, I think you just have to, whenever you mix up any game, you just have to figure out a way to do it healthy and be able to go back to your other game. One of the things is you need to not play Tarkov to the point of absolutely hating it, so when you swap to the other game, you're not like, I don't want to go back to that, you know. But Tarkov's a tough beast. You never know, because dying in Tarkov sometimes hurts, especially if other games are easier.
It gets to you, man. And then the viewers are fucking mean.
Viewers
on that
are
game
brutal,
too.
brutal, dude.
Like sometimes, like the combination. Like I'm a pretty like easygoing, like lighthearted guy. You know. That's like, and like people like, I'm only saying this because people seem to think so, and they like literally tell me that, but that game, once or twice, like 2 times, I was getting real snappy with chat, like I was just like digging into them a little bit, like, dude. Sometimes the combination, if you're not in the right mood and you die enough in that game, die to enough bullshit, and chat gives you enough shit for it, it all can come to a point and like you turn into a monster. And like literally, like I had a couple streams where I felt bad for how I was acting after to chat and stuff.
I yelled at Rick last stream because of that.
Why?
Because
Really?
I got completely dicked on, dude, for like probably 6 raids straight. Just like, and this is when you had to wait like 10 minutes to get into a raid. I'd get into a raid, and within the first 30 seconds, I'd get head eyes by some guy named Get Fucked or something. And I'd be like, great, okay, great, back to the lobby, great, here we go. And like, I was good about it, but chat just like
Yeah.
started giving me shit. They were
Uh-huh.
like, "Why didn't you go left there?" And I was like, "I don't know."
Oh,
All
God,
right.
I hate that.
But
Because I can't
this
see
is the thing
future.
for the
I
three
don't
of you.
know.
Yeah, the hindsight's like 2020. They
Well, right,
act
if you're not playing too,
Yeah,
it's
it's
totally
like
different.
totally
Like you don't
different.
have to think about little things when you're playing, so you can watch and be like, when you're watching, you
Yes.
can be like, I see something in the corner. When you're playing, you're not looking at that little
Yeah, when
corner
you're
or that
playing,
tiny
you're-
detail.
you're
You're
terrified.
scanning
like,
other shit.
what was
like,
that sound? Where am I? What do I need to do right now? Fuck, what was that? Where-
And then like 40% of your attention's on chat too.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
and
Yeah.
people don't get that. Like
Yeah.
you're not fully in the game ever when you're streaming.
Right.
Like
you
'Cause
are
you
reading
have to
chat,
pay
making sure
attention to
nothing's
your
going
chat.
wrong. Yeah.
I've been in people's streams where they don't pay attention to their chat, and I'm just like, I get bored. I'm like, they're not. They're just playing the
You're
game.
not as much of a streamer. You're more of a
and
gamer
that's
that
fine,
turned on a
right?
stream,
Like,
Yeah.
for
which is
some-
fine.
For some people, that's fine. Like sometimes you're just there to like interact with other people in chat and while watching your favorite streamer. But I like to interact with the streamer. So for me, when I stream, I try
Yeah.
to look at my chat as much as I can, so I'm like available to them even while playing. And Rick like donoed and said some shit like he was like, okay, so 1, that's the wrong shotgun for this task. 2, you should use this ammo. And 3, you didn't turn in your task item. And I was like, actually, Rick, I don't need to use that gun for this task. This is the perfect ammo I want to use, and I already turned that in. So
Yeah.
shut the fuck up, Rick. And then
I mean, I don't
immediately-
mind. I don't
was-
mind chat. I don't mind that. I think one of the big things is you guys are solo streamers. Like you don't duo with a ton of people when you play a lot, which makes it harder when chat is the person you're interacting with.
Yeah.
And they're being fucking
Exactly.
negative the whole time.
But I like to interact with chat.
I
No,
do
I
too.
know when
I
you're
know.
doing well and chat's being good, but when chat's being bad, you're like, "Fuck, I need a duo partner because I don't want to.
Also, like,
I don't want to interact with these fuckers."
let's
you
be
know?
honest. I suck at the game.
Yeah,
I suck at every
same.
game.
Yeah.
So I gotta do something to keep people entertained, and that's like talk to chat and like
Yeah.
try and crack jokes and stuff. But
I
like
actually actively encourage my chat to backseat game me because
sometimes,
I
yeah.
forget so much shit. But
Yeah.
just after getting
Depends on the
head-eyes
game.
6 times in a row, I was
Yeah.
just a little angry at Tarkov, and I took it out on Rick's donation specifically.
Poor Rick's donation.
Yeah, one thing will just
God,
send you
Rick.
over the edge.
Fuck
Yeah.
you for giving ZChum
Yeah.
money.
Uh-huh.
God.
Rick, stop supporting people.
I
God.
don't know where he gets off giving me $3, but
What a jerk.
yeah, it was. But I feel you. I know what you mean. Aqua.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Dude, yeah, it's bad. I don't know. It's
So, yeah.
just
Tarkov's interesting. Streaming's interesting.
But do you know what feels great is New World?
New World. There we go.
Uh-huh. Let's
Get
not
off
go back
Tarkov.
there. But
We can go back there. I haven't played it, so I don't really. I don't have
Yeah,
anything to
New
add.
World's fine.
Like-
I think that realistically, waiting until it comes out is probably the best for most people. Anyways,
I did notice though streaming New World the last 2 days, like the pace, the tempo of that game, streaming it is like so different than like streaming like Tarkov or something. Like Tarkov is like little downtime between raid. I got music playing, like high energy shit. And like a raid is like really exciting, and then it's like down, and then it's like up and down,
yeah.
and like I'm like constantly, because like I know the game so well, I'm like talking.
You know
and
what
stuff the
points
whole
you
time.
can talk on and
Yeah,
what points you need
yeah.
to really
Exactly.
pay attention. Yeah.
Right. So like, and then in New World, it's like a slow burn, and I'm just
Yeah.
like focused on learning everything in the game, and like it's just like total. Like I feel like I'm ignoring everybody watching a lot because I'm just like,
Aqua's
So
streamed like
focused
10
in.
hours the last 2 days. Each day. He has had some
That's
long
how I know when
streams.
Aqua likes a game is when I get on, like when I wake
Uh-huh.
up and look at Twitch and
Yeah.
Aqua's live, and when I start my stream, he's still live.
He's still alive. You're like, oh, he's in.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, this guy found a game. This guy found
That's
a
true.
game.
I mean, yeah, that's the only, like not the only, but a big reason why I do a longer stream for me is like I have to be like into the game, otherwise I get burned out.
Yeah, burning out's easy, especially with MMOs like that game. You can kind of be a little bit lower. You don't have to be high energy all the time. Tarkov's a lot of like even
Yeah.
when you're off, the raid, you have to talk to chat. That's sort of what Aqua does. He has a routine where you have a good section to talk to chat. Even then, you're high energy, and then when you're in raid, you're fucking trying to focus, and then you're back to sort of high energy talking to chat. MMOs, you can kind of like, oh, I'm in a safe area. Let's just fucking walk
Let's
around,
fish.
hang out, fish, whatever.
Yeah,
It's a little bit easier. It's not
The
as
game
high
is-
energy.
The game is so much less stressful.
Yeah.
It's like being on vacation. It's unbelievable. But yeah, I've been liking it. I'm gonna since Arcos's PSU blew up, and since it's beta right now, Deck, we've probably put in like 20 hours so far, maybe more, like 30 hours.
Probably
into the
like
beta.
20, 25-ish, yeah.
Yeah,
And
25
it's
hours.
just gonna all wipe.
Yeah, and we got to put in those same
We're
25
learning knowledge,
hours.
though. We're learning
That's
what we
true.
need to know for the launch.
You
That's
feel
true,
like you've learned
but-
enough, though. I mean,
Yeah, and I don't want to break my computer,
That's
so
the thing,
I
it's
think
like- I feel like I have learned enough, but it's on my mind.
I know. I've been waking up each day. Like a good sign that I like a game is when I like play it all day. That night I'm like, okay, I've had enough of that today. And then I
You
go to
get back
bed,
on after
wake up,
dinner.
and I'm like, oof. Or you get back on after dinner, yeah. But like especially if you like wake up craving playing that game the next day, that's like a good sign. And I can't say I get that a lot for anything that's coming out too recently. So good. That's pretty good for me. I'm excited.
Overall, let's give an overview for New World for people, because my chat has just been like, is it worth it? And so, like,
I
for
know.
you gamer hole guys, I don't think New World is personally doing anything new as far as the MMO genre. And I haven't played a lot of recent MMOs. I didn't do BDO. I didn't do ESO. I didn't do Final Fantasy 14. I did World of Warcraft and every other MMO that came out before like 2011. So like I haven't done the more recent ones, so I can't compare it to those per se. But like, yeah, I don't think it's the most amazing game, but I think it's good. And it's definitely going to fill that MMO niche that a lot of people have been looking for, especially with the mass exodus from WoW and people going to like Final Fantasy 14 and stuff. I think it's definitely there for that. But it's not going to be like a revolutionary MMO that's going to last for 10 years or something.
Right.
It's not
think
clean
that
enough.
It started out as a survival game a long time ago.
Mhm.
They swapped it to survival game with MMO. Then they swapped it to MMO with a little bit of survival. And I think that's pretty good spot for it, really. Like, is the more crafting and stuff oriented survival-ish MMO. And I'm
it's
okay
not
with it.
though. Like you don't have to eat or drink to survive. You don't have to like it's really just an MMO.
Well, the
I
eating
think.
in the game is for buffs.
Healing
The eating in
and
the game
buffs,
is for
yeah.
heals. So it's still semi.
an
It's not
MMO.
really survival, but I think that's where it's going to be. It's going to be not a real MMO where it's going to be 10 years long with tons of expansions.
Yeah.
It's going to be we pick it up and we play it for a year, and then once you grind to max or whatever, you play the 60v60 or 50v50 or whatever, and then you're kind of like, okay.
I always just say, like, I got that question a lot too. I always just say, if you like MMOs,
Exactly.
you'll get your money's worth out of this. Like you'll put in like
How much is
at
it?
least like 20 hours probably, and it's like 40
base.
bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's 40 base, you just if you have $40, it's again, whenever anyone asks, is it worth it? It's like, well, does $40 mean a lot to you? And also, how many hours do you think you're gonna play? If you go to a movie and spend $15 going to the movies or whatever, or
2 hours.
or Disney
Or
Plus,
if you buy popcorn, then it's $40
Right.
to go to the movies.
exactly. Like I bought a Black Widow movie, right?
Yeah.
Just to watch it. I paid early. What is it? 20, 30 bucks?
Yeah.
I watched it for 2 hours. So in that case, I'd only have to play New World for what, an hour and a half, 2 hours, and make
Yeah.
my money's worth.
Like you'll play it for like 6 hours even if you don't end up liking it. And that's like, if you think about it that way, it's like, yeah.
So if you really want to, like, if you're willing to put $40 into 10 hours, you definitely are gonna get your money's worth. So whatever, just go for it. If
Especially
you hate
if you're
MMOs,
an MMO guy.
right? If you hate
Yeah.
MMOs,
It's
don't
not going
buy
to
it.
change your mind on MMOs.
Right.
Yeah.
I think-
You should know whether you're going to enjoy it or not.
Right. True.
For me, I don't really like MMOs, but I like the idea of MMOs, and I loved Arcade because you had this like, it was like a pack quest where you had to like, essentially walk all the way from one side to the next, and people could gank you. That's what I like about New World is like you could be out on a PvP quest and you're marked the whole time, and you've got to go from one city to the next, and someone could gank you, or you could be farming and have all of your like supplies, and
like
someone
that.
could gank you.
I like
That's what's the cool.
that's
about
what
for me.
I
It is
like
cool.
in games where you
Yeah.
can get yoinked, when you can
Yeah.
get absolutely stolen and robbed from.
That's what I like about that game is they have that. Like the PvP feels really good actually for like a brand new MMO PvP experience. That's pretty good for what it is. And you stand to lose stuff from it, and you stand to gain from it as well. When you kill another player, you could get a loot drop that's like pretty good. Good items and shit. So
Yeah. So I think that game's gonna be kind of weird mix. I think it's an MMO, but there's a little bit of that cool aspect of
yeah.
almost like Rust or Tarkov, where if you die, you actually kind of sucks. MMOs, traditionally you die,
Maybe-
you're like, oh, I gotta repair some gear and walk
Maybe I'm
back.
willing to risk my PSU to play just a little bit more.
When does it stop? August 2nd or something like
Yeah,
that?
August 2nd,
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, you have to wait what 1 month?
Yeah,
1
we
month
got a
and
full month to
10 days.
rejuvenate our
I have a
burnout. It'll
feeling.
be
I have a
fine.
feeling they're gonna get some feedback from this beta, and they're gonna be like, "Hey guys, just gonna let you know, we're gonna push back another.
It
We
might.
really want to give you a good product, so we're
Yeah.
gonna push back another like 6 months or something."
I don't think they will, but they definitely have had a few issues.
Mm,
Apart
they
from
might.
the whole video
They
card
might.
thing. It
They've-
could happen.
They've got a lot to fix. If they really polish it up, demuddle it a little bit, fix up that UI just a little bit, maybe tweak the starting zones and stuff.
I'm sure
I
that's what
don't
the
know.
beta is for, though.
That's what the beta's
Yeah,
for.
but they're gonna need time to fix it all. Like,
1 month is pretty. Yeah, they're not gonna be able to add new quests or
Because I
anything
mean,
like that.
they had their like
The UI
alpha
would be-
test like almost a year ago this time.
Yeah, the
And
preview
Aqua and I
alpha,
played it,
whatever.
and a lot of people played it. And I mean, they spent a year tweaking shit. I mean, the basic game is still primarily the same. They've changed, abilities and stuff. But
it changed quite a bit.
yeah,
changed
they
quite a bit
have
with the
changed a lot.
combat
But I mean, that was a
system,
full
yeah.
year. We only
Yeah.
got a month now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. I think if they do launch it to this state, they can, but they could push it.
Right. I think they can launch at the state. I just don't think. I don't think it's gonna be that good. The state. I think it'll be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I'll pick it up and play for a little bit. It's not gonna be the MMO of, oh, I'm gonna play 30 hours a week for the next 10 years.
It's not an
And 30 hours
Amazon product yet. You know.
Well, Amazon games all have been bad. So
No, this one's pretty good so far, but we'll see. You guys hear about that like Blizzard thing this morning?
Yeah.
They're being sued.
yeah, well,
Oh,
it's notorious. I mean, that's the gaming industry.
Yeah.
I mean, that's every industry, but whether it doesn't matter. This was specifically women being. I didn't look into it too much,
Yeah.
but women being abused in the
Yeah.
gaming industry. And
Yeah, I read
specifically
about it this
Blizzard.
morning.
Classic Blizzard.
It's classic. Any industry, like, it needs to change.
Classic gaming
we'll see what happens
industry,
from
am
it.
I right?
Yeah, but Blizzard's just filled with gross gamers.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like Ubisoft had a bunch of that shit a year
Yeah.
or two ago, and like I mean, it's been everywhere in the gaming industry or any industry. But then, like man, Blizzard is really just like from the
They're
golden
just
reputation that they have.
falling
Oh,
apart, man.
Activision Blizzard sued over frat boy
Yeah.
culture and
Yes.
harassment. Frat
As soon
boy
as-
culture at
Yeah,
Activision.
the word frat boy culture is pretty grim. But it's just like, I mean, Blizzard, like they've already been losing their golden boy image for over a decade now.
Man,
But
I used to be such a Blizzard fanboy, dude.
exactly,
They could do no wrong before. They were
watching
like,
that fall from grace has
Sexual
been
harassment.
strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, stick up for other people if you're in a workplace environment.
Respect
HR
women.
respect women. HR does not necessarily actually help you, by the way, because HR is paid by the people that are abusing you. So if HR does not help out, go somewhere else to find someone else that'll help out.
Is that the
and
lesson
then-
we're taking away from this gamer hole episode?
Yes, this is my lesson of the
To,
day,
to
guys.
finally start treating women with respect.
Treat everyone, not just women, but everyone. Like,
This,
I mean,
what
thi-
a brave stance of us to take.
this specific. Well, this specific case is women, but like, even
no,
interns that you
that's
think about,
today's
even
lesson.
interns like get screwed in all these companies. Like, just harass frat boy culture by people at the top. That's why you start your own company and you work for nothing for many years, and then once it starts growing up, you can
Kings
actually treat
started
people well.
creating-
Then you can
Club.
have your own interns that you overwork and don't pay. See you
I
later,
wish.
guys.
Kings
Thanks for
started
watching.
Creators Club just to treat women with respect.
Yeah.
Goddamn
Wow.
right, Kings.
Amazing. That's all for today.
But before we go, I would like to say,
Uh-huh.
because I am trying to keep the COVID-a-thon going, if anybody does have the Delta variant, let me know, and we could maybe like exchange some fluids or something, because I need a re-up on my Corona.
Anything to keep Dekie at his house for another 2
Well,
weeks.
Dekie did put a cap on it of the 30th, right? Because you said
That's when the quarantine should end, is the 30th,
Right.
But I did speak to my girlfriend, and she
Hmm.
didn't sound thrilled about it. She's like, if we get to like the 29th, we could talk
Okay.
about extensions.
About the opportunity, about the
If we get to the actual launch of New World, the 31st of August, and I'm still live, I will get the Friar Tuck haircut. No.
In real life.
In real life.
That's amazing.
All right, we're out of here, boys.
Thanks for watching, guys. Every
Thanks.
Thursday, we're gonna
forever.
rest of your life.
Hey, it's me, ZChum. Thank you for watching the Gamer Hole. We appreciate it. If you'd like to support the Gamer Hole further, there's a little join button down below, right below the video, right there. Check it out. It gets you access to an extra video every week, a secret members only video, as well as priority commenting, and access to a Gamer Hole live stream we're gonna do every month or two. So if you want to support the channel, by no means do you have to, but the option is there. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next Gamer Hole.